Hello YouTube, back again for another Elite Dangerous livestream, as soon as I can actually, if I was to launch the game. That would usually help if I'm trying to livestream. Just taking a couple of days off from streaming, mostly because I got drunk on Thursday and that was a bit silly. And then I would have streamed much earlier on today, but I forgot it was Formula 1, and I do enjoy watching that. Along with Formula 1 flavoured fun, I have actually played around a little bit with the demo for Forza Horizon 4. And I can tell you guys straight away that this computer will easily run that game maximum graphic capability at 4K. So no issue there for when I start streaming on the 28th. That being said, it's going to be a bit scrappy to begin with because they've decided to completely change the entire control layout for Forza Horizon 4 compared to 3 and Motorsport 7. And as a result of this, I basically have to relearn the controls, and there's no way to remap PC controls for Forza Horizon, which is stupid. But hey ho, that's a different game series, not this one. And I forgot to put a title to this episode. Whoops-a-daisy. What should I call it? Well, it's episode 3, for starters. Episode 3. Where are my marbles? There we go. Actually got a title on the bloody thing now. As you can see, I haven't actually launched Elite Dangerous yet today, so hence the amount of time it's taking for the planet generation system. This is partly my fault because I have got the graphics options set so that it's offloading a lot of the planet generation system onto my PC at a much higher resolution and fidelity than is default. In the last stream, I did say I was going to get started doing the material runs, basically hunting materials for engineering updates, upgrades for my ship, and yeah, I just finished watching Formula 1. I want to shoot things again now. Ordinarily I'd race, but I kind of wanted to do a stream today. So I'm going to do some more bounty hunting. Get another few mil into my account. In the meantime, once again, during the last stream, I had a very friendly commander, whose name escapes me at the moment, who informed me that there were some major changes coming up for the Chapter 4 update for Elite Dangerous. Which I have the article here in front of me as I speak on my little tablet thingy. And the changes are, well, it doesn't feel right calling them changes. I have to say, it's a complete and utter rebuild of the way exploration is done. So, there's entirely new interfaces, micro probes, which are built into your Discovery scanners, so you don't have to buy any new modules or anything. Unknown signal sources are all spawned at the very moment you actually first drop into a system. Sorry, just turning the volume down a touch, because I'm deafening myself. There we go. was I? Oh yeah, entirely new interfaces. So, the Discovery Scanner, you can tune the scanners to look for particular EM spikes for certain types of planets, for example. So, it says here, there'll be it now returns an aggregated display of how energetic the electromagnetic emissions are in the system. Signals are sorted on a low to high scale by their apparent energy. For example, emissions from rocky clusters will appear at the lower end of the scale, whereas hot gas giants at the upper end. This information requires some interpretation, as signals can overlap. So, it gives us a much more sort of sci-fi, oh, we've actually got to work at this feel, without it actually being what it is currently, where you basically have to fly to each system individually, each planet individually, to find out exactly what it is. You can sort of guesstimate based on the return you get in the system map, but the only way to actually know what you got in front of you is to fly up to the planet in question. And this makes sense that they're doing it this way, because part of the goals was to replace flying time with gameplay. So, in order to do a lot of the discovery stuff now, you can do a lot of it from just sort of sitting there at the point you first drop out of hyperspace. In regards to planetary mapping, that's a new thing. We can actually map the planets now, rather than sort of trying to keep a note of the longitude and latitude of anything interesting on the planetary surface that we happen to fly past. We can actually map a planet from supercruise. I imagine there will be a range limitation there. Detailed surface scanner. Yeah, they're not going to replace any of the modules, by the way. So the Advanced Discovery Scanner does what it does now, but it also does all this new stuff when the update is live. What have we got here? Oh, was that a Clipper? Clippers are pretty good. Oh, Challenger. I haven't fought a Challenger yet. That's tempting. I did switch my ship's lights on just prior to drop out, because I noticed we were just sitting in the shadow. Oh, I haven't deployed my fighter yet. That's a bit silly and noobish of me.
Copy that. Engaging telepresence control for fighter.
Right, so, where was I? Yeah, flight-assisted probes are launched via a new aiming interface when activating the detailed surface scanner. These probes will arc towards a planet's surface, and when close enough will display sensor coverage over a large area. Once enough of the surface has coverage, the probes will collate and report their findings. To map rings around the planet, you'll need to hit each ring with a single probe. Yada yada yada. Basically, this allows you, through skill-based venture. Oh, my power balancer's not right either. There we go. Through a skill-based venture, actually at the planets using much better tools that are given to you, as opposed to the sort of fly around it and hope approach that we pretty much have at the moment. So really looking forward to these. This also means they're adding a new category to discoveries in the way that first discoveries and stuff are recorded, and that's first mapped by. So the person who first maps a planet, regardless of whether or not the planet has been discovered, gets a credit. So that also applies to every planet within inhabited space as well. So within the bubbles, as it stands at the moment, everyone can basically go around and remap the entire bubble. See if we can find new things like Guardian sites and stuff, which will show up much more easily with new mapping tools. So yeah, this is, like I said, it doesn't feel right calling them changes. It's a complete revamp to the way that exploration and discovery is done. Really dangerous.
Target destroyed. Scanning for more hostiles.
It's like they took the bare bones of the system, threw them away, and built an entirely different creature instead. And I love it. I'm really looking forward to that. As a consequence of these changes, I might actually hold off on my material gathering and stuff until after these new changes have come into effect. Mostly because finding these materials that I'm going to need for engineering blueprints and blah 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 blah. Excuse me a second. Sorry, feeling very badly like I'm trying to sneeze. So if I mute my mic very rapidly, you'll know why, people. Right, as I thought you wanted. Yeah, it means that exploration now gives you the full sort of planetary survey feel. System survey feel that I think some of us have been hoping for a little bit. But I don't think any of us were sort of expecting it to happen. I certainly wasn't. So, this rebuild of the exploration system has come as a bit of a surprise for me. You couple that with, Q4, they're also going to be introducing the player group owned mega ships, the carriers. These squadron carrier vessels, which will be part of an in-game player-owned squadron. Sorry, I'm rebuilding my shields while I'm talking. It's going to make player group operations a lot different. For example, your player group can actually exist properly within the game space as opposed to essentially just appearing on paper. I shouldn't do it. French. I completely missed a simple railgun shot there. As such, I sort of berated myself with foul language. My language tends to be quite colourful in reality. I do turn it down quite significantly for these streams. Come on. That's an evasive manoeuvre if you've never seen one before. quick boost past and turn brings me outside of his weapons range. Enables me to turn around, drop some jaff, obviously. Reduce the amount of damage you can actually do to me while I wait for my shields to come back online. How much damage have I done? 20%. If I do this... Oh, he's keeping up with me. That shouldn't be able to happen. I'm in my crate. There we go. Now I'm outside of his weapons range. I can relax a little bit. Got my shields back up. Trying to avoid bumping into that guy. I said guy, I meant rock. Big hulking space rock. Oh, scumsucker. Got him. Another one down. Alright, let's actually get my shields fully recharged. Fly back to Beacon. So, what have I spoken about? Yes, I've spoken about the vast rebuild of the exploration system. Elite Dangerous, that's coming as part of the Chapter 4 update for the Beyond series. And eagerly anticipating that. And normally I don't sort of anticipate anything to do with exploration because while it's useful for making up quite a bit of money, I tended to find it a bit tedious and boring. Partly because of the way... Partly because it's a lot of repetition and doing exactly the same thing over and over again, which is honk, scoop, scoop, oh sorry, honk, jump, scoop, jump, honk, jump, scoop. Rubbishy stuff. Which, you know, after a few hundred jumps, it feels very boring. But adding all this extra complexity to exploration, which I say added complexity, I mean added functionality to exploration. Means there's more of a job to do for it, but a lot less in the way of legwork and a lot less in the way of repetition. And that can only be a good thing. It would actually make exploration runs for me a lot more interesting. Not necessarily more profitable, but certainly more interesting. There's a further lance there I absolutely must kill. What I was saying earlier about Forza Horizon 4, by the way, and their controls not being able to be remapped and stuff, I was referring specifically to anything that's not an Xbox controller, basically. I play with the Logitech G27 steering wheel, pedals and what have you, so having the ability to remap those controls on some of my racing games is quite useful. And Forza Horizon 4, what little I played in the demo earlier, feels like what I kind of need to change a lot of the controls for, because it's just very different setup compared to control-wise compared to the way it was for Forza Motorsport 7, which only released last year, and Forza Horizon 4. 3, sorry. Ow! That was definitely a plasma shot. A Class 4 plasma shot. I can feel that from here. I'm several hundred light years from this, removed from this actual star system. Come on. Ha ha ha! Bet that stung. No! Missed me! Come on. He seems to be out of control now. That's weird. I didn't see him actually ram anyone. He's trying to run away. I wonder why. Could it be that he's just started exploding, I mean. Haha. That's a $250,000 just added to my coffers. Now I saw a python running around in that alley. That might add a bit extra cash to me. There we go. Oh, there's another python there. Deadly rank. Wanted winger 2. Which is that other python, this one here. Expert rank and not in a wing. So I think I'm going to take this one on. Oops. That was a very stupid miss. Oh, get features. Oh, that stung, didn't it? Haha. Where's that other python? There he is. Oh, this one's been weakened. May as well take this one on as well. I've still got full shields. Surprisingly. Ah! Not for much longer if I keep blindly flying into plasma shots like that. Yeah! Oh! It's a good thing I had my lights on, I didn't see that guy. I'm pretty sure that's an anaconda I almost rammed because I didn't see the bloody thing. Maybe if one of my ship kit pieces are blocking my lights a little bit. Ah. Oh, gotta run. Yeah, bugging out. Yeah, I don't like hitting 50-odd% hull strength. Somehow my fighter's still alive, so I'm going to attempt to recall him while still boosting out of range of everything else. And whilst I'm doing that, that Imperial Courier is miles away now, it should be fine. 7 clicks and counting. What about... see my fighter... Oh, I can slow down at this point. Now I've got my shields back online. I can take some fire from the courier and still recover my fighter. I know it's not essential to recover my fighter, but it does save you a little bit of cash in terms of when it comes to stock replenishment when you get back to station.
Under attack.
It's cheaper to replace chaff than it is a fighter. My shields are easily holding. So just wait for the fighter to hit 12 meters off the hull, in which case I can start boosting, and there we go. And running.
Back in the lake, Commander.
Sorry, I apologise for sort of eliminating my microphone feed with 0 warning, but trust me, you wouldn't want to listen to the results if I hadn't have done that. I have a gungy skull at the moment and it's not pleasant. In the meantime, I think I've made maybe $500,000. Oh! 697. So, actually a good chunk of $1 million there. But when I've started the auto docking, what I might do is meet my mate once more and get myself some decungifying lemon flavoured paracetamol edited hot drink flavoured stuff down my neck, or at least in a mug so I can consume it on stream. What's that end? There we go. Alright, while that's docking, I shall be back very shortly.
Access permitted. Please land on designated pad number 38. Use of automated docking computer permitted. You are clear to hand over control. Please regulate your speed and accommodate oncoming traffic.
Landing gear deployed.
Some Marbals will not obstruct the chief's air.
Landing complete. Alight when ready. Enjoy your stay, Commander. Your comfort is our top priority.
It is with pleasure we are able to inform pilots that Imperial security is operational at this facility, ensuring safety and decorum for residents and guests.
And I'm back. Sorry for the delay, I had to wait for my kettle to boil. So, well, not the actual kettle to boil, because that would have made an awful molten mess on my sideboard, but the contents of the kettle to boil. Alright, let's repair and rearm. One of the remarkable things I've got to say about the crate is it's not actually all that expensive to repair. That said, I do have a lot of reinforcement packages on board, so that might help. There we go, 40.5 mil.
Pilots are respectively
bad.
reminded to refrain from entering the docking bay without
I'm actually
authorization.
going to quickly have a look at my video history on this to try and find the name of the guy who informed me of the changes that are coming to the
Welcome to our starport and the warm embrace of Imperial service. We are pleased to
Thingamajig.
offer a wide range of
Usually
facilities
watch it and
paralleled quality.
Usually flips. Exploration in Elite Dangerous. I can't find it at the moment. Oh well. It was worth a try. Alright, in the meantime, let's go back out and fight. Now I actually have some medication in front of me.
Once your vessel has received documentation,
I gotta say, I do find these messages a touch irritating.
Traversing the docking bay.
Landing gear retracted.
Keep forgetting just how much ass that beluga has. to try and remind myself of when the next update is. I know it's Q4, but sort of hitting Q4 in a couple of weeks. I'm guessing it's probably going to be December because it is a massive update, not just the exploration stuff. Like I said, the in-game squadron stuff, including the squadron carrier vessel. Of which the USGC will have its own squadron within the game universe, and we will have our own carrier. It's part of the reason why I wanted to make more money, so that collectively we can actually acquire one. Although I expect it's going to be a bit more than 40 mil. I expect it's going to be one of these things where you're going to need at least a couple billion credits for. I'm not near that yet. That being said, exploration will, while it probably won't be any more lucrative than it already is, it will, oh actually, you know, saying that, first mappings may net you some extra money in Universal Cartographics thingamajigger, so it might be worth it. So you might actually get more money that way. Okay, he's clean. Let's see what else we got. Diamondback, Viper, Vulture, Prime. Oh what? I'm gonna go to the other extraction site. There's nothing worth shooting here. Also, I've inadvertently got my pop-out chat on top chat rather than live chat. So I do apologise if I've missed any messages, which I haven't. For anybody who is watching, feel free to message me on using the in-stream chat. I do respond. Where there is a little bit of a delay because it's live streaming and that's a thing that happens. The other thing that occurs to me is there's actually a couple of rather large sections of space relatively close to the bubble that have been locked off with permit access only. Including the region around Orion's Nebula. Around the Orion Nebula. And it's a place I've been wanting to explore since the game first launched. Neglected to do any exploring for the first sort of several hundred hours of my gameplay, and when I finally got myself into a frame of mind where I wanted to do exploring, it was blocked off with permits, and has been that way ever since. I'm trying to work out what I want to shoot. There's actually a few targets here. Let's go with the clipper first, wherever you are. Oh, there you are. I suppose I better spit my fighter out as well. Give Gonzalo a workout. I like Gonzalo. He does a good job.
targets now.
Looks like Samaya here is flying defensively already, and I haven't even shot at him yet. Oh! Big rock! Big rock! Haha! Missed it. Oh. Combat upset night in a ring system can be a bit exciting at times. Oh, we didn't last long. He didn't last long at all.
Another one down.
Oh, there's a gunship there. Let's have a look at him. He is wanted. Can't believe how close I got to pancaking myself to a lump of rock.
Target shields offline.
Somewhat surprised this gunship doesn't have a fighter. Most of the gunships I've been fighting against in recent weeks, well, pretty much since they first introduced ship-launched fighters to the game, in fact, pretty much all gunships I came across were equipped with fighters. But not anymore for some reason. It's a bit odd.
Target eliminated. Good job, Commander. No more threats in this sector.
Bangs like that are always so satisfying. I suppose I'll pop an asp. Right, that friendly virus on my fighter, that was his own fault. He saw I was firing, he must have seen I was charging up my railguns as well. It still flew right in front of my canopy anyway, because he's a suicidal little nutbag.
Target shields offline.
Trying to get lined up for a rail shot. I can try times. Right, it's trickier on smaller, more manoeuvrable vessels. So I guess the gunship and the clipper I fought earlier, no such issues. Who was a scanned me just then? I do have another gunship there. More splatterage. And he is indeed wanted, which is good. Finding your shields are vanishing quite rapidly. Perhaps you're facing off against alien interference. And you should run away. So again, no fighter being spat out by this gunship. I say it used to be that they all had fighters on them, but it seems that since I think maybe the last update. Their usage as fighter carriers has dropped off substantially. He actually got rid of my shields. Naughty beggar. So I'm just begging for oxygen now. Die, Gregory! Alright, let's get some power back into our shields using the little cheeky reboot repair function.
Sequence initiated.
Power plant capacity exceeded.
Successful. Shields online. Scan detected.
There we go. Alright, let's have a look for a couple more gunships in theatre. That's a portion, I imagine, is more likely to be wanted than whale. Well, that's a base firing in a wing. He's elite, but clean. Okay. The dropship is one worth looking out for. Let's have a look at whale then. It's probably just mining as well. In fact, they are. So let's have a look at that dropship, which is over there. Yep, wanted. Awesome. Oh, did that sting? I hope so. Come on. Oh, he's already dead.
Got him. Another one down. No more targets. We're all clear, Commander.
I never finished scanning it because I saw he was mining, but may as well get the scan completed so then at least I can eliminate him from future sweeps. Seems to be pretty clean now. So, well, apart from that, combats are going the distance there. Sorry, two sets of combats are going the distance there. In fact, that looks like an anaconda. It is an anaconda. And he's wanted. Come here, giblets. I know it's not his actual name, but it's just isn't it? It's going to be his name once I finish with it, which is very short. Haha, he died. Ah. This is part of the great thing of having... Oh, further lands. Awesome. Of having a 43-inch 4K screen so you can spot juicy targets like that from quite a distance. Hatchbreaker limping while he's fighting me. That's a bit cheeky. to base once I've splashed this guy. So I'm taking quite a bit of damage now. Oh, that's a canopy. Can take some damage. Some very worrying cracking noises.
All integrity completed, Commander.
Ah, you're dead. Oh,
Control, Commander. No real threats in this sector.
it's a lovely amount of money as well.
Steady, Commander. Initiating automated retrieval.
It's really easy to make quite a lot of money bounty hunting like this. I mean, ideally, I would also have a kill wall scanner and stuff, but I really fancied having
Is in the bay. We're ready
a
to
lot
go.
more in the way of shield boosters. And for me, that feels like the right choice, because I back some extra power. And while I know this is a tough ship, even once the shields are down, to reduce the amount of time that my hull is exposed to fire, it's better to have lots and lots of shieldings. And yes, it takes much longer for said shields to recharge, but they're worth it when they are up to strength. I feel the loss of one of my A-class shield boosters may reduce the effectiveness overall by too high a degree for me to be comfortable living with. Well, not living with, but fighting in hazardous extraction sites by myself. Just glancing over my stream software and noticing that no dropped frames at all whatsoever, and I'm transmitting at full 4K, so I'm really happy with the way things have worked out in terms of my tech, my RL tech, I hasten to add. How much I've made. I didn't splash that many ships. Oh, actually, 8/10 of a mil. Can't really complain at that. So I made like 1.5 mil in less than an hour, which isn't too bad. I used to be able to make more, but the challenge increased quite significantly. Sometimes you end up in resource extraction sites that are actually quite dead. Like my second run, the first extraction site I went to, it was, you know, just cobras and things. It wasn't worth actually engaging anything. I go from, you know, 200,000 or 300,000 credits to 2,000 or 3,000 credits per kill. Just doesn't make any sense. think I might change my livery on my ship. In fact, I will. Don't get me wrong, I love the Raider paint ship kit schemes. Sometimes having something a little more traditional feels quite good as well.
Landing gear deployed.
Let's get myself repaired, rearmed and cashed in first.
Shutdown. We trust this facility will serve you well, Commander.
There we go. Should go into full outfitting. Thinking about swapping my railguns for plasmas again. In terms of my next stream, by the way, not likely to have one tomorrow. It's therapy day, and I'm a bit usually quite unstable after therapy. Therefore, it will be Tuesday. Will be the next stream I send out. Let's change my ship kitty stuff first. So, yes, I like that bit. And the paint job is going to be... I did get an iridescent paint scheme, but I don't know. I don't think I'm too much of a fan of it. I couldn't really determine whether or not I was going to be a fan of it unless I actually bought one and strapped it to my ship. I also fancied switching my weapon and engine colours. So, yeah, done a bit of bounty hunting. Discussed the exploration changes that are coming, and little gripe I have for Forza Horizon 4, even though it hasn't been released yet. It's a minor gripe, given what the gameplay and stuff, experience I've had and everything so far. I've been quite enjoying it. Just the demo, once again I will point out. So, really looking forward to actually playing the game proper on the 28th. I'll hold off on discussing the F1 race until Tuesday, because I'm aware that firstly, not everyone likes F1. Secondly, even if there are people watching my stream who do like F1, they may not have seen the race yet. Maybe wait for the highlights or something, and I don't want to spoil anything. What else do I discuss? That's about it. So, yeah, I'm going to take this opportunity to run away and hide from the world again until Tuesday. Till then, I shall say adios, scumsuckers.